What's up, everybody? It is Brandon Locaron here, and today we're talking about how to BRRRR a multifamily property. While this process is very similar to a regular BRRRR on a single family or a townhouse or single unit dwelling, there are a little bit of differences. So this is going to kind of be like a recap of the BRRRR strategy slightly with a twist of how you do it with a multifamily. So obviously, the first step, jumping right in, is buying, right? You need to buy a property at 70% or 80% of the market value using the 70% rule or 80% rule, which means that 80% of the value of the property minus any construction costs. Now, with multifamily properties, like, you're going to have different units. So you're going to have, 3 or 4 or 100 times more of the stove or of an HVAC unit, of flooring, of cabinets, of bathrooms, right? Because depending on how many units you're buying, you're going to need to, kind of set things up for that. So you're going to want to make sure that you account not just only for, one set of appliances or however many units you have. It would be, set of appliances times however many units you got. So make sure that you take that into calculation, especially when you're determining your purchase price and your renovation costs. So again, going back to the rule, make sure you buy using the 70% rule or 80% rule in high growth areas. It's very difficult to find things for the 70% rule. The next thing is you're going to want to make sure that you find properties that you know for a fact is going to go up in value, especially with some of the other ones that have sold recently. So lately we've been looking at a property here. It's a triplex. It's a 3-unit. Looking at those comps, I'm looking at what else is sold. Now, in those areas, there isn't very many triplexes that have sold, but there are tons of duplexes. And to me, a triplex is valued higher than a duplex. So the duplex prices are selling for about the same price as what this property is asking for. So more than likely, we're just going to go in and ask and not really, I may negotiate because that's what I do. However, it's one of those things that you just compare things. And you say, well, okay, I have 3 units, 3 income sources, and I'm able to get in on this. So again, make sure you buy using the 7% rule and account for however many units you have. Now, the rehabilitation plan, now, you're rehabbing the property as you bought it. There more than likely would have been some tenants sometimes. Like, if they lived in the property before you bought it and while you're buying it, you don't want to necessarily kick them out right away. So as you're rehabbing, you should have a rehab plan. With a multifamily project, you want to make sure that you're accounting for each unit. So look and see when each unit is going vacant. And let's say it's fully occupied and a lease ends, in a few months. You're going to want to prepare to do that rehabilitation then when that unit turns over, so that you could get a higher rent. This is all about how multifamily properties are valued at. It's based on the rent roll. So you're going to want to make sure you get that cap up, that cap rate. So with the renovation plans, you're going to want to do 1 unit at a time. I don't recommend doing, to all the units at a time, because then it starts costing you money, because now you're carrying that load. You're carrying that overhead. So you kind of want to do like a couple units at a time, or, if it's 100 unit, you might do 10 units at a time or 5 units at a time. Just to make sure that you have a good plan moving forward. So with that, though, make sure you hire the right contractors. And I would say look for a bulk discount. So if you know that you're going to do 10 units at a time, you're going to need 10 appliance packages. Go and figure out where you could buy 10 appliance packages and get a solid discount, okay? So that's the key with multifamilies. You're able, because you're buying in bulk, you're buying more. 1, your cost is higher, but 2, like, you're able to get more of a discount. So instead of it costing you $10,000 to do a bathroom or $14,000 to do a bathroom, it might cost you closer to $8, because you're buying all the materials at the same time. The guys are on site all at the same time. So, start looking at ways on how you could structure your construction cost to make sure that you're coming out on top and you're getting the best bang for your buck. The other thing, too, is renting it out. So kind of falling into the strategic plan of construction, renting out with multifamily, the biggest difference is when you rent out the property, you're going to want to stagger the rent. So let's say it's a 3-unit or 4. Let's say it's a 4-unit, right? I will have like one lease ends in January, one lease ends in March or April, another one ends in June, another one ends in December, right? Or September, sorry. And the reason for that is because you want to stagger it into where you're not going to have more than 1 or 2 units go vacant at a time. So you don't want to have more than one unit go vacant at a time while you're looking to fill that rental unit, especially if you have renovation costs you want to do, renovation projects you want to do before the new tenant moves in. It's going to take you about 2 to 3 weeks to get those renovations completed. So you want to make sure that you stagger those rents, and then that way you always cash flow. Even if you have a 4 unit, you should be cash flowing with just 2 units, honestly. And the next two, one of them you're still cash flowing, and then the other one is just vacant at the time you're renovating. So you're still making money while it's being renovated. And that's the benefit of multifamily, is because it's one building and you're able to cash flow like 4 times, right? So that's the key here, and I want to make sure that you guys are aware of that. Stagger your rents. That's going to be the biggest thing that's going to help you, especially in this process. The refinance phase. So when you cash out refinance on a BRRRR, make sure that you raise the rents, right? So as you're doing construction, you're going to want to make sure that you have raised the rents, did proper construction, and you're ready to refinance. So make sure you keep a list of the properties, the finishes that you've used in the building, so that you can present to the appraiser. And make sure you give them a copy of the leases, because that they're going to use the rent roll in order to qualify you to see how this building is worth, to figure out how much they would be willing to lend you. It's very easy to do a cash out refinance on a BRRRR and get money back than it is a single family house or a townhouse or something like that. And then, guys, we just go and repeat the process, right? Because more than likely, when you do a solid BRRRR, especially following our steps, you're gonna make money on this deal, right? So you use that money tax free. You go buy another one, right? You go buy another one. You go buy another one. You keep repeating the process. So the thing about this is, the key takeaways here, guys, is going to be, make sure you find it for the right price. That's our golden rule of real estate investing, okay? You don't make money when you exit a property. You make money when you purchase the property. So find it for the right price before you pull the trigger. And remember, guys, real estate deals are like freaking buses, right? There's another one around the corner, and it's going to be on time. So don't feel like you're going to miss out, because I've seen that got so many people into trouble. They feel like they're going to miss out. They jump the gun on something, and then they realize they made a mistake, and they didn't follow their own rules for real estate investing, and that's where people go wrong, because your emotions get involved. Next thing is, as you go through a multifamily, make sure you stagger your renovations and stagger your rent. That will really help you make sure that you're cash flowing all the time. So there you have it, guys. Hit that subscribe button below, like, follow, comment. Let me know what else you want me to talk about, or if you guys have any tips for me. Hit that subscribe button below, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.